Hello, dear connoisseurs of jewelry masterpieces. Let's talk about tiaras in the kokoshnik style. I would like to continue our conversation about these magnificent jewelry pieces, and the next in line is a black steel Cartier tiara kokoshnik. In 1914, the tiara was purchased by Romanian statesman Alexandre Margilaman and his wife Suzanne Avery Margilaman, and presented to the newly crowned Queen Maria of Romania during her coronation ceremony. This piece of jewelry certainly stood out among other gifts. Its uniqueness lay in the combination of black steel and precious stones, which made it truly creative and original. This bold experimentation with materials and gemstones was done in the jewelry workshop of Henri Picard and the jewelry house Cartier. However, it should be noted that the traditional basis of the jewelry was the shape of a Russian kokoshnik and the use of platinum, introduced by Cartier into the art of jewelry as a material for creating strong and stable frames. It is believed that 5 such experimental tiaras were created, but their owners and whereabouts remain unknown at this time. As for Queen Mary's tiara, decades later it was bought back from the Queen's heirs by the jewelry house Cartier and is now on display as a historical exhibit, an example of craftsmanship at the Islamic Inspiration and Contemporary Design exhibition in Abu Dhabi. Another example of a kokoshnik-style tiara by Cartier is a piece of elegance and exquisite glamour, created in the early 20th century from plain steel but set with first-class diamonds that give it a fairy tale-like appearance. This black tiara was sold at Christie's auction for nearly $500,000. Its contrast between the black enamel and the brilliance of the clear diamond stuns onlookers. It was created in the Cartier workshop in Paris in 1912 to 1915. By the way, in addition to steel, the jewelers also used noble platinum in the manufacture of this tiara. The tops of the tiara, united by wavy elements, give the jewelry a certain resemblance to a crown. But this is far from the end of our story, and it is only beginning to gain momentum with the presentation of the next specimen, the meander tiara of Crown Princess Cecilia of Prussia. Originating from the archives of the Hohenzollern royal house of Germany, the Prussian meander tiara was one of the many crowns in their possession prior to the First World War. The ornament was made in 1905 by the German jewelry workshop Koch and Bergfeld, which specialized in creating jewelry for the Prussian royal family. In 1905, Crown Prince Wilhelm of Germany and Prussia commissioned the tiara as a wedding gift for his bride, Duchess Cecilia of Mecklenburg-Schwerin. Although the couple were intended to take the place of Emperor and Empress of Germany, plans had to be postponed due to World War I, which led to the abolition of the Prussian monarchy and the abdication of Emperor Wilhelm II. However, Crown Princess Cecilia managed to preserve her husband's wedding gift and pass it on to her descendants. The beauty and grandeur of this crown is truly impressive. The tiara is shaped like a kokoshnik with a pattern reminiscent of a Greek key or meander along the edges, and a thin diamond-shaped lattice in the center. Each section of the lattice is set with a large diamond, while medium-sized diamonds cover the entire surface of the ornament, giving it extra sparkle. The frame of the jewelry is made of platinum. The choice of the meander pattern for the crown was not random, but symbolized unity. It is therefore not surprising that this wedding gift became something of a traditional wedding tiara for the House of Hohenzollern. One of the most attractive women of the family, Grand Duchess Kira Kirillovna Romanova, completed her wedding look with a meander tiara when she married Prince Louis Ferdinand of Prussia, son of William and Cecilia, in 1938. Almost 30 years later, Wilhelm and Cecilia's daughter, Princess Maria Cecilia, also chose this tiara for her wedding to Duke Frederick August of Oldenburg. The Prussian meander tiara was later used in the wedding ceremony of the couple's second daughter, Princess Xenia, when she married Per Edward Latanda in 1973. In 2011, the tiara reappeared at the wedding ball of Princess Sophia of Eisenberg, wife of Prince George Friedrich Hohenzollern. And in September 2017, the meander tiara again adorned the bride, Princess Victoria Louise of Prussia, at her wedding to Prince Ferdinand of Leiningen. In my opinion, the tiara, while beautiful, seems overly bulky on the princess's head, especially on Princess Victoria Louise. I don't think this piece of jewelry is too suitable for her. What do you think? Now let's move on to the next piece of jewelry, the Imperatrice Michiko Pearl Brilliant Tiara. This Japanese pearl and diamond tiara is a variant of the classic bark Roma tiara design with thin, almost entirely diamond beams forming a smooth top line. Its shape is reminiscent of a Russian kokoshnik. Pearls along the top add a slight softness to the rigid shape of the rays. Like many other tiaras worn by members of the Japanese imperial family, little is known about this tiara to the general public. It is usually combined with a necklace reflecting the pattern of the tiara and simple earrings to create a special hairstyle, a characteristic element of many modern Japanese tiaras. The tiara was worn by Empress Michiko when she was crown princess and consort to the heir prince. Later, after becoming empress, she passed this tiara to her daughter-in-law, Crown Princess Mosoko. Let me introduce you to the Greville Emerald Kokoshnik, the cherry on the cake of the jewelry world. The Greville tiara, in the form of a kokoshnik, epitomizes the ethereal radiance of beautiful diamonds and the magical shine of velvet green emeralds. This is the true splendor of aristocrats. This gorgeous tiara is reminiscent of the treasures of Russian tsarises. However, the Greville tiara has nothing to do with the House of Romanov. Many might call it the Russian kokoshnik because of the shape of the jeweled crown. At the beginning of the 20th century, the fashion for the Russian style conquered the world of jewelry. And now in the 21st century, the emerald tiara sparkles delightfully in Princess Eugenie's hair. Her auburn tresses and precious emeralds seem to have been created for each other. Noble platinum and a multitude of diamonds making up intricate patterns. The delicate ornamentation of precious stones takes us back to the era of Russian princedoms, when pagan belief still reigned and plant ornaments adorned fabrics and jewelry. Is it true that the Greville tiara can be confused with Russian treasures? And what a beauty is the 93.7 carat cabochon center emerald, it is simply delightful. It is not clear why the English Queen Mother and Elizabeth II almost never wore this fabulous tiara. It was only Princess Eugenie who gave the tiara a second wind and new life. I have always been amazed by the beauty and magic of emeralds, how they change their color under the rays of the sun or camera flashes. This is a true miracle of nature embodied in jewelry art. Back in 1919, the French masters of the Boucheron Company received an order to create this tiara. The customer was the daughter of a rich brewer, fashionista and public figure Margaret Greville. This simple girl, whose father was a member of the English Parliament and whose husband was Baron Greville, instantly moved into high society after her marriage. It was she who was perfectly suited to this gorgeous tiara, although Margaret had many other pieces of jewelry. Besides, she was a broad-minded person and had bequeathed most of her jewelry to her housekeeper. It was certainly not the most expensive and luxurious jewelry, but still. Indeed, Mrs. Greville showed a high appreciation of the value of female friendship and loyalty by deciding to bequeath the emerald tiara and other jewelry to the Queen Mother in 1942. Her close friendship with Elizabeth II's grandmother, Mary of Teck, played a role in this decision. However, despite its long history and importance to the family, the diamond tiara was not appreciated at the royal palace. At Princess Eugenie's wedding ceremony, the tiara enthralled everyone in attendance. Her emeralds drew attention with their brilliance and beauty. The bridal gown was elegant and understated, which emphasized the majesty and sophistication of the tiara. The refusal of additional jewelry and airy veil emphasized the refinement of style and individuality of the bride. As for the choice of tiara, Eugenia rejected the York tiara, her mother's inheritance. The reasons for this choice could be varied and could include personal preference, symbolic meaning, or simply aesthetic combination with the dress. Surely this decision must have been carefully considered and reflected the bride's inner vision of her bridal look. Now, answer in the comments, which of the tiaras did you like the most?